Hey everyone, at Dawn here again, and I'm back with another episode of the Friday edition of the Bits and Pieces, and you know what I do here, I talk horror-related movie news. So let's get right into it. This article, we're going to bloodydisgusting.com. It was published on August 14th, 2019, and written by John Squires. Title of the article is Alexander Aja directing a choose-your-own-adventure horror movie with the Hill House team. So that's The Haunting of Hill House, the Netflix series. This choose-your-own-adventure idea is a great idea. It's already been done by Black Mirror and Bandersnatch, but I'm hoping this one is a little bit better because the last few seasons of Black Mirror have really gone off the rails in terms of quality. I'm an Alexander Aja fan. I've made that clear before here on the Bits and Pieces, so I'm excited about this. Let's get into the article. So there's a picture of Aja. So Alexander Aja from High Tension, The Hills Have Eyes, and Crawl. Hills Have Eyes, the remake, is a great movie. I also really like Crawl. I'm a big fan of Crawl. I was disappointed to see it kind of suffered at the box office. I'm not too sure why. If you haven't seen it yet, go out and check it out. It's a great monster movie. Great pace. Nice hour and 30. It's not too much of an investment. Highly entertaining. Good effects on the gators. Spoiler, well, it's not really a spoiler alert anymore. It's been out for quite a while, so it's about alligators. But if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend it. Go check it out. So Alexander Aja isn't leaving horror behind anytime soon, as Collider reports today that Aja will be directing a new horror movie for Amblin Partners, but not just any horror movie, the site notes. The Haunted House movie, which doesn't yet have a title, will be a choose-your-own-adventure style horror movie. The branch narrative film is based on an idea by Mike Flanagan of The Haunting of Hill House scribe Jeff Howard, and Howard will write with Aja and Nick Simon. Collider details, to develop the project, Amblin Partners is working with Kino Industries Control Movie Technologies, which empowers filmmakers to create branch narratives, interactive feature films that allow audience to influence the storyline, the choose-your-own-adventure format. Using an app on their cell phone, audience members will be able to vote in the theater to decide what characters will do at pivotal points in the narrative, meaning that Aja's film will have a different plot ending and even a different running time depending on the audience's choices. So that's awesome. That's a great idea. Where Black Mirror, Bandersnatch was based on Netflix, this looks like it's going to the theaters. This reminds me of the old 50 and 60 style, like the gimmicks, like the William Castle. I think he did something like that back in the day with his horror movies, like the Tingler. That's where there was a buzzer and you could press a button and then the chair would vibrate. You'd feel it, that sort of thing. He also had an idea like this. He wasn't able to get it over because there's no way the technology in the 50s or 60s would allow for it, but he was a B-movie horror genius. He did something similar to that where he suggested it could have a different ending where it actually never could. So we're actually getting it. So here's another example of horror movies of the modern era. And I think this is the way you need to go, because horror movies in the last 25 years haven't really broken any new ground. If you're going to have new things brought to this genre, ideas like this are an excellent way to go. Excellent way to go. It promotes immersion with the audience, and it also has people sitting on the edge of their seats wanting to go into the theater. Because we all know box offices, this summer especially, have taken a beating. All the receipts are down. People are not going to theaters anymore. They're spending more time on streaming services or waiting till the home media version comes out. Ideas like this will help rejuvenate some of that a little bit. So I'm hopeful for that. I'm excited about this. I'm going to keep covering any news articles that I see regarding this. So that's it for this article. Alexander Aja is directing a choose-your-own-adventure style horror movie with the Hill House team. That's it for this one. Let's get on to the next one. And for our next article, we're going to go to horrornewsnetwork.net. This article was published on August 14th, 2019, and it was written by Rob Caprolozzi. The title of the article is Nathan Stewart Jarrett and Coleman Domingo join Candyman. Now that's the reboot of the Candyman franchise, the movie that I told you is being worked on. Jordan Peele, I believe, has written it. And I'm pretty sure he's not directing it. I think he just scribed it. But yeah, this is the reboot to the Candyman franchise. Let's get into the article. The team at Deadline is reporting that both Nathan Stewart Jarrett and Coleman Domingo have signed on to join the upcoming Candyman film. The duo will join Yana Abdul Mateen and Teyonah Parris, who were previously announced to star. Now, Teyonah Parris has also been cast in a new MCU Disney Plus series, WandaVision, where she's going to play Monica Rambeau, the actual Captain Marvel, not Brie Larson's Carol Danvers, who's really Miss Marvel. But that's a discussion for a different YouTube video, but it's something that we know all too well in the YouTube and genre fan community. On with the article. The film from MGM and Jordan Peele and Wynn Rosefeld Monkey Paws production kicked off principal photography this week, fittingly in Chicago. Now, the original movie was set in inner city Chicago in the Cabrini Greens projects. This one's going to be interesting to see where they take it, because I'm pretty sure that they don't exist anymore, or they've been to an extent gentrified from where they were from, say, the 60s to when Candyman was made in the early 90s. Nia Costa will helm the reboot, which is being called a spiritual sequel to the 1992 horror classic, which was directed by Bernard Rose and starred Tony Todd, Virginia Madsen, and Xander Berkeley. Now, I love the original Candyman. Tony Todd is awesome in that movie. Virginia Madsen is pretty great in it as well. The film introduced us to the nightmarish character of Candyman, who would soon go down in horror history as one of the favorite slashers. In 2001, American Film Institute nominated the film for AFI's Top 100 Years, 100 Thrills. 100 Years, 100 Thrills. Now, like I said, the original Candyman is awesome. The two sequels, not so much. The second one, they tried to reboot it again. I don't know if they were going for more of the backstory of where it was based, but it kind of strayed and departed from where the original movie set out the backstory of the Candyman character to be. It was similar, but they had tweaked it in some ways. And the third one is best not spoken of. So let's get on with the. But I had also read some other articles in regards to this news regarding that these people have joined the cast and principal photography has started, and that's questioning whether or not Tony Todd is going to make a cameo. I can't see why they wouldn't allow him to be in it if he's interested. I really hope they do include a cameo for him, because that character is nothing without Tony Todd. Like, you can do a reboot, that's great, and relaunch it like we love in all today's movies and media, where we're just constantly rebooting every franchise and character you possibly can. But I hope they do go to the extent of including Tony Todd in him. Similar to what Halloween 2018 did with Nick Castle, they involved him in that. He was able to play the Michael character in some parts of it. So hopefully Tony gets the same treatment, because to me, he's similar level. Michael Myers, more from the 70s and 80s, but Candyman is not a forgotten slasher movie, but it's somewhat overlooked. It's not quite spoken of in the same breath as your Halloween. But to me, that first one, from start to finish, it's thrilling. It's very engaging to the mind. It's out there, but I really do enjoy it. While it is still extremely early, just finishing up the article, Universal has already set a release date of June 12th, 2020, so stay tuned to Horror News Network for the latest news on Candyman, the reboot, and stay tuned to me here on the Bits and Pieces, but that date of June 12th is pretty aggressive. We're in August now, mid-August of 2019. We're going to hit theaters in June 12th. It is a horror movie, so there are some parts where you don't have to quite, like reshoots might not have to happen quite as often as they would in like a bigger budget movie in like a major motion picture. This is a major motion picture, but I mean something like a Banner, like a Star Wars or an Avengers movie, where you might not need to go back and do that many reshoots. But anyways, I'm digressing a little too much in this article. Let's wrap this up. That's it for this article. Nathan Stewart Jarrett and Coleman Domingo have joined Candyman. Let's get on to the next one. And for our last article of the week, we're going to go to darkuniversehorrordatabase.com. This article was published on August 14th, 2019, and it's by Nick Bond. The title of the article is, it's a trailer that John Carpenter's Halloween returns to theaters this fall. There's Michael Myers from the original Halloween 1978 movie, we have just learned the epic news that John Carpenter's 1978 horror masterpiece Halloween is heading back to theaters for a limited run this fall, courtesy of Transka International Films and Compass International Pictures and partner Cinelife Entertainment. Scheduled to run from September 27th to October 31st, the restored and remastered digital print was created under the supervision of the world-renowned cinematographer Dean Cundy and marks the 41st anniversary of the groundbreaking film. And then it goes into a synopsis of Halloween. For anyone who's not playing at home or a horror fan, will read through it, is that in it, antagonist Michael Myers, who has spent the past 15 years locked away inside a sanitarium for the childhood murders of his sisters, escapes. And on October 30th of 1978, makes his way back home to Haddonfield, Illinois, turning a night of tricks and treats into something much more sinister for 3 young women, including Laurie Strode, the star-making role for lead Jamie Lee Curtis. Keep an eye on Cinelife Entertainment's website for a full list of participating theaters and showtimes coming soon, and you can check out the official trailer below. Then we're not going to play that because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I'm excited to hear that this is coming back to the theaters. I know we had the Alien remaster come back into theaters last year for the anniversary, so I'm definitely going to check this out. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the list of theaters, and if it's in my area, I'm going to see this. I missed out on Aliens. I learned about it too late, but here we go. Halloween is coming back to the theaters, the originals, and it's a digitally remastered, so it'd be interesting to see what's been updated, what remains the same, and what they've tweaked. It's probably just like lighting and shading, but hey, I'm up for it. I want to check that out. I'm a huge Halloween fan, as I talk about here a lot on the Bits and Pieces, about those key center of the trinity of like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, all that good stuff. But anyways, that's it for this week's article, the last article. Thank you, Dark Universe and Nick Bond, as always. John Carpenter's Halloween is set to return to theaters this fall. And that's it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I just want to take a moment here to say, over the next few weeks, it's going to be quite a little bit busier for me outside of YouTube. So the Bits and Pieces aren't going to disappear. They just might be pared back down to 1 a week or less articles for each. It might only be 2 articles per episode. But I really appreciate, I just want to say it again, for everyone who does support and watch this show. I really appreciate the support, and thank you again so much for checking this out. And I hope you enjoy this episode, and I hope you enjoy all the future ones, and you go back and enjoy all the former ones. But that's it for this episode. And if you did like this episode, you know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'll talk to you next week on Wednesday. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.